everyone, thank you for tuning in here to part 2 of this work in progress as we cover Saturn, the hard teacher, the planet of boundaries, limitations, and restrictions as it relates specifically to the planet's placement within my natal chart. Naturally, if you have this or a similar placement within your own natal chart, then this work might be of relevance to you. But even if that's not the case, we can all learn something one way or another from each other. It's always good to hear fresh new perspectives, so if at any point in time you feel the need to drop a comment, please feel free to do so. I'd love to hear your perspective on this gas giant and its archetypal counterparts. And with that being said, let's dive right in. If you're new here, my name is Wayne Rodney, artist and illustrator, and right now you're watching me digitally paint a piece of work called Saturn, the Hard Teacher. But don't let the title fool you into thinking that this is me making disparaging commentary on this celestial body. Far from it. If anything, this is more a commentary on the learning experiences acquired from interacting with Saturn's current. So in my case, my sun sign is Leo. Leo is also governed by the sun. Both are regarded as expressive, creative, and very outgoing. My Saturn placement, however, is also in Leo, and therefore I have the radiant brilliance of the sun, but that energy is placed within the limiting confines of the restricting energies of Saturn. Because Saturn inhibits the full expression of the signs and energies that are interacting with it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Saturn is really there to teach you, and it shows up in areas in your life where karmically you need to address. And in submitting to understanding and learning the lessons that Saturn has to offer, a person can have tremendous growth and profound spiritual insights. Now, all the planets have dual aspects due to the principle of gender, and they can be classified as either masculine or feminine, if you will, for simplicity's sake. When I posted part 1 of this video, one of my friends, Katya, made a comment that the role Saturn plays is necessary because without structures of space and time, everything would be chaos, and I agree, that is in fact a true statement. She also pointed out that the feminine aspect ties in with the supernal Sephiroth of Binah, which also parallels the High Priestess in the Tarot. Again, another valid point, and I do concur. And as I mentioned, there are both masculine and feminine aspects to the celestial bodies. Saturn also shows up in the Tarot as the Devil card, and here is where you see some of those attributes that are aligned with the restrictions and boundaries as outlined. But back to my interpretation here. So for me, some of my greatest teachers through life have been women, and sometimes even the voice of my own intuition comes through as the divine feminine. So in this composition, I've chosen to honor that by incorporating the figure of a female. Now, one of the ways that would be ideal for me to work in harmony with Saturn's energy is service to others, and wherever I find myself in situations where I'm operating in such a capacity, I usually find it very emotionally rewarding. Anyway, a curious bit of synchronicity that showed up while I was working on this piece is one of my children just happens to be involved in theater, and as a parent, we need to do a specific number of volunteer hours with the theater company. We don't usually have a great deal of autonomy with regards to selecting our projects, but we typically show up and whatever they need to get done is what we do. So I went down there pretty early in the production and asked if there was any projects that I could take home because I got a lot of things on my plate at the moment, and it's easier if I could just get a task and work on it in my spare time and then turn it back in when I'm done. And sure enough, they said, hey, yeah, we got something for you. We need you to assemble this gravestone out of these materials and paint some text on it. And I said, yeah, sure, perfect. But the interesting thing is one of the attributes of Saturn is time, old age, and mortality. And I found that to be a strange coincidence. But it's just one of those funny synchronicities that tend to show up when you're doing this kind of work. And usually at the end of these projects, we tend to walk away from things with a new skill set, a greater appreciation for things, and a general sense of fulfillment. And that's really what Saturn wants you to do. It wants you to improve, become better, learn structure, discipline, rigor. And so for this and for all other lessons, I'm grateful. Thank you for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and share this content if you found it inspiring. My name is Wayne Rodney. I am an artist and illustrator and the creator of the Global Fusion Intuitive Tarot Deck published by US Games Systems. I've included a link to that in the description of this video. Peace and blessings, and have a wonderful day.